Shabbat Shalom. We're going to get started in about 5 minutes. I'm going to invite you, if you see rows of chairs ahead of you that are empty, that's a really good sign that you should move closer. Take that as our sanctuary's way of saying to you, we want you closer to the center. Come in, come in. And because one thing that I'm suspicious of, I think the sanctuary is going to fill up tonight, which means that if you're sitting near chairs that are empty, if someone comes in that you don't know, go like this, come sit next to me, come sit next to me. It's a really good way to get to know somebody. Okay, can we all practice that? We're going to do a dress rehearsal. Someone's coming in, but we're going to overwhelm our choir director, John Ornstein. Ready? Let's everyone try to get John to sit next to us. Come over here. So what you just did, though overwhelming, is I think one way to embody Shir Tikva's commitment to radical hospitality. So although John will be sitting on the piano bench, we can practice that sort of, maybe a slightly less desperate, but just as heartfelt desire to bring people close to us. Good Shabbos. We'll get started in just a moment. My bag, however, did not fit. My jacket's still there, but my bag is. I'm looking for my bag. So don't you with the bag? Shabbat Shalom. Oh, every week we come together, and I think like if you were going to try to distill the Torah that I try to teach every week at Shir Tikva, I think the Torah would be contained in a single phrase, which is make more noise. We've got to make more noise. Not because the world needs more noise, but because, oh my gosh, that noise is beautiful. And I just want to set this kavanah as we come into Shabbat Shira, as we come to this Shabbat when we will read in Torah about the Israelites crossing through the sea from the narrowness of oppression into the mind-boggling creativity of the wilderness. And song is what carries the people through, which is to say courageous noise. That this choir, this gorgeous choir, thank you so much. One song in, I'm like, Teach us. Teach us to make noise. Even when it feels impossible, teach us the power of our lungs, the miracle of vibration, the alchemy of voices together. Oh, hello, choir. Oh, hello, John Ornstein. Thank you so much. I want to say welcome to First Universalist and to Plymouth churches who are joining us tonight. Welcome, communities. Now, I don't mean to put you on the hot seat, but I do want you to know that when we have guests in the room, we love when you make noise. And one of the miracles of our tradition is that Yai is a really appropriate way of singing along. Truly, it's what matters is that we're counting ourselves in the minyan, that we're counting ourselves in this collective. Don't hold yourself back. So I'm going to say something that will not surprise anyone. I don't think. Which is to say that this sanctuary exists because we believe in the beauty of trans people. And because we believe in the illusory nature of borders, and that we cannot and should not and will not criminalize each other, and that we do not comply with systems that tell us we should. So I just want to put that right here in this beautiful inner space and say, hello, beloveds. Everything we do here is in service. May we dedicate our service to the practice of lifting each other up and welcoming each other in and doing tshuva, right? Learning and trying again when we fall short. Let us not be afraid to try. Let us not be afraid to bring our offerings. And let us create this sanctuary as a space that is for the nourishment and the uplift of our hearts. Okay? That's what this is for. So I'm going to share a poem by Marge Piercy, and then we're just going to dive in. Okay, you're like, we didn't come for you to talk, we came to sing together. And this is a poem that I've been turning to this week to remind me why I'm alive right now, and how we might meet this moment, and I'm going to offer it to you. It's a poem called The Seven of Pentacles by Marge Piercy. Under a sky the color of pea soup, she is looking at her work growing away there actively, thickly like grapevines or pole beans as things grow in the real world, slowly enough. If you tend them properly, if you mulch, if you water, if you provide birds that eat insects a home and winter food, if the sun shines and you pick off caterpillars, if the praying mantis comes and the ladybugs and the bees, then the plants flourish, but at their own internal clock. Connections are made slowly. Sometimes they grow underground. You cannot tell always by looking what is happening. More than half the tree is spread out in the soil under your feet. Penetrate quietly as the earthworm that blows no trumpet. Fight persistently as the creeper that brings down the tree. Spread like the squash plant that overruns the garden. Gnaw in the dark and use the sun to make sugar. Weave real connections. Create real nodes. Build real houses. Live a life you can endure. Make love that is loving. Keep tangling and interweaving and taking more in. A thicket and bramble wilderness to the outside, but to us, interconnected with rabbit runs and burrows and lairs. Live as if you liked yourself, and it may happen. Reach out, keep reaching out, keep bringing in. This is how we are going to live for a long time. Not always, for every gardener knows that after the digging, after the planting, after long seasons of fending and tending and growth, the harvest comes. So dear ones, may we make our prayers and our connections and our weaving a blessing tonight, and let us enter this period of rest connected to one another. We are welcoming so many people into space that we are going to invite new members, people who have joined Shir Tikva recently, to come up onto the bima and help us light Shabbat candles. I'm going to invite also folks on Zoom to identify yourself if you have recently joined Shir Tikva. And if you're like, did I recently join Shir Tikva? Let's just say yes. If you're on the fence about it, it's a great chance to come up and kindle Shabbat lights. The candle blessing is found on page 2.
Beloved new members in our physical space, beloved new members on Zoom, I have the opportunity to bless you. A blessing of such joyous welcome. One thing about Shir Tikva is we are a lot of people who have considered ourselves outsiders in other spaces. Some of that instinct can make it challenging to count ourselves and can make it scary to join. Thank you all so much for the trust of joining. We are made stronger by the way of you. May this be a home where your tears and joys can proliferate. May this be a home where you can feel cozy and comfortable and challenged and challenging. May this be a place where we can celebrate you and you can celebrate together. We say together, Amen.
We'll continue together on page 12.
Yada We'll turn to page 13. Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz.
Shiru l'Adonai, barechu shemo, baseru miyom leyom, Yeshuato.
Sapru v'hagoyim kevodo bechol ha'amim nifleotav.
Ki gadol Adonai, umulal meod, norahu al kol Elohim.
Ki kol Elohim hamim elelim v'Adonai shamayim asa.
Hod v'hadar lefanav, oz v'tiferet b'mikdasho.
Yismechu hashamayim v'tagel haaretz yiram hayam umela'od yalo
Sadai v'chol asher bo, az yiranenu kol aseyat.
Yifnei Adonai kiva lishpot haaretz yishpot tevel betzedek ve'amim be'emunato.
Ya la 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 la,
Ya la 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 la. Ya ya la ya la 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 la. Ya yam la ya la 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 la. Yam la ya la ya. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya ya la ya la 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 la. Hi ya 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 la 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 la. Ya la ya la la yo. We'll continue on page 16, 5 lines down.
Yiram hayam umlo, tevel ve'yosheva.
Yiram
hayam umlo,
wash over me. Let the waves wash over me.
There will be better days.
I am already under. Let the waves wash over me.
There will be better untie ourselves from the tangles of this week, shall we? Shall we do that? Just for a little bit? Can we just let whatever pieces of us are feeling, and my God, I imagine there are pieces of us that are tight. We don't need to rush it, but as we sing Ana Bechoach, which is number 1 in our blue song sheets, I'm going to invite us to just sing this invitation to those places in us that are tight, tenderly, that we might release and release into rest. Ana bechoach, bechoach, gedulat yemincha, yemincha, tatir tzerura, kabel rinat amcha, sagbeinu tareinu, nora. Ana bechoach, bechoach, gedulat yemincha, yemincha, tatir tzerura, kabel rinat amcha, sagbeinu tareinu, nora. Ana bechoach, gedulat yemincha, tatir tzerura, tatir tzerura, kabel rinat amecha, sagveinu tareinu, nora. Yai, 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 yadai. Yadai, yai, yai, yadai. Yadai, yai, yai, yadai. Yadai, yai, yo. Yai, 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 yadai. Yai, 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 yadai. Yai, 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 yadai. Yai, 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 yo. Yai, 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 yadai. Yai, 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 yadai. Yai, 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 yadai. Yai, 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 yo. Yai, 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 yadai. Yai, 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 yadai. Yai, 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 yadai. Yai, 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 yo.
We'll turn to page 20. Please feel free on the last verse, if you feel brave tonight, we'll stand up or root down. If you're standing, feel free to progress towards our outside space.
Lecha dodi likrat kalai, alalai, 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 pnei Shabbat, nekabelai. Lecha dodi likrat kalai, alalai, 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 pnei Shabbat, nekabelai. Shamor וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ותפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת עלי, הללי, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת עלי, הללי, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת כי מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, ידדי ידדי ידדי, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ידדי ידדי ידדי, פני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה, קומי צאי מתוך אפיך, רב לך שבט בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ידדי ידדי ידדי, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ידדי ידדי ידדי, פני שבת נקבלה. התנערי מעפר קומי, לבשי בגדי תפארתך עמי, יד בנישי בהלכני, קורבה אל נפשי גאלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ידדי ידדי ידדי, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ידדי ידדי ידדי, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי האורך הוא לי אורי. אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נמלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ידדי ידדי ידדי, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ידדי ידדי ידדי, פני שבת נקבלה. דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. אלוהות אלוהי אלוהות תקרבי, מה תשכחי ומתמי, בארץ יצועה יעמי, בעירך עיר תילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Kabbalat.
We'll stay on our feet or rooted as we turn to page 28, entering into our evening prayer together. Folks can be seated. On page 30, we bless a God who brings darkness into this world. In this prayer, we also bless a God who hangs lights, who hangs the stars in the sky. And as we are in this dark time of year, at this dark time in our history, I'd love to invite us to think about the stars in our life, the people, the sources of strength, the animals, the joys that are keeping us going. Taking a big breath in and out.
הוא מעביר יום ומביא לילה, הוא מבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב.
On page 32, we bless a divine that gives us love. I'd like to invite you to call to mind someone in your life who is in need of love tonight. I'll invite you to send all the strength of your heart in that direction. Taking a big breath in and out.
כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו והם נגע יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
Folks should rise or root on page 34. Shema,
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
You can be seated, page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושינתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושופך וקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבת על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם.
We'll turn to page 40. An invitation just came to drash this, to give words on this prayer, which forms some of the center of the day that we're in, Shabbat Shira. This is a Shabbos devoted to song and devoted to the sound of our choir and choirs over the course of Jewish history, going all the way back to this prayer when the Jewish people stood at the banks of the Red Sea at the moment of liberation. And I'm not sure if there's so much more to say than the fact that at those moments where we have truly crossed, the natural expression is to sing. And I don't know what to do with the fact that we are, or at least I am feeling myself not in that moment of having crossed. We are still in between, in the middle. And it still feels like the natural instinct that I come back to every Friday night here is the need to sing. The need to, beyond any words, beyond any intellectual anything, to be surrounded by each other's voices. I'm so grateful to you, the choir, to you, John, for giving us the gift of this tonight. We'll continue on page 40 with the words of Micha Mocha. We'll turn to page 42, where we pray for peace and protection. These words are going to continue to be challenging, I think, for us to sing over the course of these next 4 years when protection and safety feel so far off. And the invitation I'll give you tonight and every Friday between now and wherever we're going is the fact that we are the protection that we seek, that we need to be the mutual aid, we need to be the care, we need to be the love that keep each other safe. We'll join together on page 42. We'll rise or root on page 44 at the top of the page.
Shabbat,
into quiet prayer, beginning with song on page 46.
Please continue with your private prayers as long as you wish, and we'll also begin singing on page 62. Ose Shalom.
Amen.
We'll take a moment to pray for healing of body and spirit. You can find our prayer for healing on your blue sheets, number 2. But before we sing those words, I'd like to invite you, when I pause, just to say the name or names of anyone that's on your heart, anyone that you're praying for healing tonight. Tonight we're praying for.
We are lucky to have a musical Dvar Torah tonight, and to help us open to this offering, I'm going to invite up Mindy Benowitz, who's going to help us ground in and get ready.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom. I'm Mindy Benowitz, a member of Shir Tikva since the earliest years, wife of music leader Rachel Lipkin, and proud mom of Lily and Mara, who Rachel and I raised here in our Shir Tikva community. Now, I know I'm not alone these days about how it's taking a lot more energy to get any semblance of balance in my nervous system, to reach for calm, trust, or fight the urges to either numb out or panic. And as I practice all my coping skills, I also find inspiration in this week's Torah portion and in the song that the choir is about to sing, Gonna Get Through This World, with words by Woody Guthrie and music by Lisa Gutkin, arrangement by Nick Page. And I love how we Reformed Jews dig into Torah stories each week to see what kind of wisdom they could offer to help us deal with life in the present and use contemporary resources. So, briefly, the Torah tells us of how, after centuries of enslavement for the Jews in Egypt, God rallied both Moses and the forces of nature to challenge the oppressive ruler Pharaoh step by step in increasingly powerful ways. And after Moses summons his courage and the God energies bring plagues that make Pharaoh's life painful enough for him to let the Jews go free, the Jews rush to leave Egypt, find the courage to enter a sea that could swallow and drown them, and then are saved again by God dressed up as a miracle of nature. After making it through the parting of the sea, Miriam and the other Jewish women lead the community in expressing their awe and gratitude. Their relieved and joyful life forces burst forth in song, with song and timbrel and dance. And that singing energized the community to keep moving on the scary trek to more unknowns. That's why we are called Shir Tikva, the song of hope, and why this Shabbat is called Shabbat Shirah, Shabbat of song, with the special choir offerings. So I find a lot to relate to in the story. Although, on the one hand, it seems the opposite of what's happening in our country now and in Israel Palestine, kind of the opposite of moving toward freedom for all. But on the other hand, I relate to it being at a point in history where the pertinent questions are, how do we fight tyranny and oppression? How do we survive, keep up morale, and build community in the midst of frightening changes? How do we humans better team up with God to create possibilities that no one could imagine before? And how do we find the courage to step into a complete unknown? And what recipe of determination, authenticity, joy, and trust gives us sustenance to create a better and safer world for all? So the Torah story and this next song offer some wisdom and support for those questions. In the song we'll sing, Woody Guthrie inspires us in simple and profound lyrics. And for those who aren't familiar with him, Woody Guthrie was a singer-songwriter and composer in the 1930s to the 1960s, a white man from Oklahoma, and one of the most significant people ever in U.S. folk music. His music included songs of protest, about workers' rights, themes of anti-fascism. And I just learned that about his strong family connections with Judaism. I had no idea. With progressive Jews. As Saul Singer wrote in JewishPress.com, what is not well known about Woody is that his wife and children were Jewish, and that he raised his children as Jews, and that he wrote songs about Jewish history, Jewish holidays, and the Holocaust. And through his mother-in-law, Eliza Weitzman Greenblatt, a socialist and prominent Yiddish poet, Woody came to identify the Jewish struggle with that of his fellow Okies and the other oppressed people about whom he sang. So, what do Woody Guthrie and our Torah legacy tell us about how to proceed while facing such intense unknowns? How to keep walking into the sea and proceed in the desert toward a hopefully better future? His words describe it. First, we affirm to ourselves our determination, our intention. He says, I'm going to get through this world the best I can. Second, we hold that not knowing, we hold our imperfections and the limits of our power with honest self-compassion. He says, if I can. And third, we hang on to hope to the best of our ability, and I think I can. So we show up, and we do the simple but not easy tasks, the actions. I'm going to walk in this world the best I can, if I can. I'm going to talk in this world the best I can, if I can. And I'm going to clean up this world the best I can, if I can. And I think I can. And in the midst of this wrestling with choices and fear and uncertainty, rest and rejuvenation are vital. Lisa Gutkin composed the music to these unpublished words found after Woody Guthrie's death, and she recorded it with the Klezmatics. And I think it's brilliant how she wrote a nigun into the song. It says to me that no matter how hardworking and determined we are in persevering, we must also make room for joy and rest. So it helps me to remember that these challenges we face now are not new, and that I and we are alive today because earlier humans and Jewish humans found some courageous answers and kept searching for even more. The Parsha and the song reinforce my belief that there are spiritual energies that I call God that want all humans to live in love and freedom and peace and are trying to guide us and help us in a bunch of different kind of ways. So may we all receive strength from the messages of our Torah history and this song. May we actively listen to the guidance and have the courage to walk, talk, clean, and carry on as we can. One moment at a time, one step at a time, we breathe and do the next right thing, holding hands with care together and making music wherever possible. Shabbat Shalom.
Well, I'm gonna clean up this world the best I can, if I can. And I'm gonna clean up this world, and I think I can.
And I think I can.
I'm gonna leave this world behind the best I can, if I can. And I'm gonna leave this world behind, and I think I can. And I think I can. I'm gonna clean up this world the best I can, if I can. I'm gonna leave this world behind the best I can, if I can. I'm gonna get through this world the best I can.
Yesher koach. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that offering. And Mindy, thank you so much for that grounding and real call. Yesher koach. Thank you. They say that if you say something 7 times, you'll learn it. And I feel like I want to, listening to you sing and singing along, I was back there like banging on the floor, very excited about what you were singing. And I'm just like, I want to say those words out loud 7 times to start the day. I need to remind myself and really take that in. Not, you sounded so beautiful, but what you said is so beautiful, right? What you sang is so beautiful. So I hope if anyone wants to join me in that process of morning recitations, join me. We'll talk about how it goes. My God, thank you. So we're going to take a moment and we're going to bless each other. We've been blessing each other for many years. And I am very aware right now that there are many people in our community feeling very exposed and very squeezed. The narrows of the sea. I'm thinking about parents of trans kids. I'm thinking about doctors and social workers and teachers who are having to ask themselves impossible questions. I mean, if I'm being honest, I'm thinking about each of you, right? And so I want really, as we practice this community blessing, the thing God we've been doing for years together, we know what we're doing. I also just really want us to be able to say, wow, these are not just We're not just doing this practice to practice it. We are sending blessings to every therapist of trans people. And we are saying, yes, you are hearing these stories, and yes, we are holding you, and we are blessing you. And every person who's trying to figure out how to access healthcare. I mean, I don't have to list it. We are holding this list. But what I'm hoping we can do in this practice is we're going to go in a little bit deeper in our spiral of blessings and say, yeah, the stakes are high and our blessings are sacred, and we're going to offer them to each other, that we might just be able to tuck the blessings in our hearts. And if this is your first time at Shir Tikva, please also tuck those blessings. These blessings are for you. And so carry them with you. So first we're going to use the words of our tradition, and so I apologize, Zoom friends, if I upped the ante too much. You get to choose what blessings you give. So if you came with people you want to snuggle with, please cuddle. Give yourself a hug. Feel the earth below you, your body in space. Hamalach hagoel oti, hamalach hagoel oti mikol ra, yevarech et hane'arim, ve'ikarev hahem shemi, v'shem avotai, v'shem avotai, Avraham ve'Yitzchak, ve'Yidgul ha'roz, ve'Yidgul ha'rov bekerev ha'aretz. Yisimchem Elohim kisara, kerivka, kerachel uchelea, כפריים וכמנשה, יברכך אדוני וישמרך, יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונקה, יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום. May we feel grounded and held by community in these unstable times. May we bless each other with what we need when we need it, and also bless them because they also need, and they are us. We can get through this time breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat, by leaning on each other, loving each other, and knowing we are loved. May those who need access to gender-affirming care get it. May we be light for each other in the darkness. May all my trans friends know that we are here for you. We sing for you and hold you close. May we join together in song and keep singing our way forward. May we feel all the feelings, know the big spaces left behind by those who are gone, and do our best to fill that space for ourselves and others who will follow. When we are low, 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 may we find a small packet of nourishing hope, like a tasty snack bar found at the bottom of our bag. May we turn to song when we can't find hope. Ya-la-la, ya-la-la, ya-yo. Ya-la-la, ya-la-la, ya-ya-ya-ya-la-yo. Ay-ya-la-la-la, ya-la-la-la-yo. And a final blessing came in after the nigun, but it's still worth saying out loud. May we feel safe enough to ask for help. Ken yehi ratzon, yasher koach. My goodness, what a nourishing practice. I'll invite us, please, to rise and root on page 284. Now, guests, this is the most confusing thing we do as a people. I don't know why we make this so hard on ourselves, but we do. We're going to begin 4 lines up from the bottom of the first paragraph, and then we will jump to page 287. Welcome to Shir Tikva. V'hashevota el levavecha ki Adonai hu Elohim. V'hashevota el levavecha ki Shekhinah hi Elohim. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz. Bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. You may be seated. We come to this time of Kaddish, of saying Mourner's Kaddish. And before we share names of people who have died in our community and loved ones, we take time to sing Oseh Shalom, holding open a space of grief and rage and disbelief at the number of people who have been killed and continue to die in Israel-Palestine over these last many months. We'll turn to page 294 and sing. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. So our tradition is to read our community's list of people who have died at this time in years past. And if you hear the name of a loved one, please raise your hand and Rabbi Joey will come to you with a microphone so you can share a 1 to 3 sentence story, suggested length, so we can remember your loved one with you. If I've come to the end of the list and I've not said your loved one's name, please then raise your hand and Rabbi Joey will come to you and we invite you please to share their name and something about them. So we observe the yard site of George Benowitz, Mindy's grandfather.
My Zadie George came to this country. He knew something about oppression and fled pogroms in Eastern Europe, and with an 8th grade education started a little business and raised his family, and he's the Jewish heart of the family. If anybody practices Judaism in the family now, it's because of him, and I'm grateful.
Jack Bergman, Mona Duane's father. Howard Bick, Dexter Heinen's great uncle. May Cooper, Elaine Rudick's mom. Ed Eisner, Marian Eisner's father. Rebecca Foley, Robert and Christina Rothstein's great niece. Jack Gerlich, Michael's father. Dr. Mace Gerald Goldfarb, Jesse's grandfather. Ruth Elaine Hartman, Maury's mom. Richard Kleeman, Nancy's father. Edith Levy, Carolyn's mother. Jacqueline Mann, Tracy's mom. Frida Matthews, Robin Ehrlich's grandmother. Dorothy Picorni, Alex's grandmother. Ida Ratner, Gail Zoffner's grandmother. Joseph Safian, Eileen Safian's father, and my grandfather. My Zadie was extremely funny. He grew up in Pittsburgh, and he met my grandmother, my bubby, at a wedding that her father was officiating. And he wooed her with a TV set in the trunk of his car. And in many other ways, he was very charming. But I think he died 6 months after I met Noam, and I have often, and they never met, and I have often felt like my Zadie is so funny, and I feel like I married a funny person, and we've given birth to really funny kids. And I really wish he would have gotten to know them, and I also just feel like they really came and filled that hole. Mary Schwartz, Mickey Donofsky's aunt. Richard Shapiro, Jim Miller's uncle. Kate Smith, Aaron's great-grandmother. Kathleen Specht, Jeffrey's mom. Tom Waltower, John's dad. Bertha Watchman, Susan's aunt. Sybil Weinstein, Miriam's aunt. Bertie Weisfeld, Rondi Atkins' grandmother.
My grandma Bertie was the typical wonderful Jewish cook, but her food didn't just taste good. Eating it made you feel good, and its goodness just emanated through you.
And Sarah Whalen, Nora's mom. And I wonder, are there other people that you're remembering tonight whose names that you'd like to share?
It's 18 years ago that my rock and roll brother, Randy Justison, passed away. We recorded 3 CDs together and played to a lot of empty rooms. And we had a lot of fun, and I miss him still every day.
My aunt Stacy Davidson passed away a few years ago, and she was my dad's youngest sister, and had a pretty hard life, but was really a passionate person about. She studied environmental justice and really loved the Grateful Dead and went on tour with them.
My grandpa Bill Sweetman and my Diddy, my grandma Jean Sweetman, died 17 years apart in the same month. My grandpa Bill was a writer. He used to sit in at the round table at the Algonquin Hotel. My Diddy was a piano player. She was trained at Juilliard, and they eloped in 1930 and were cut off from their families and turned out to be the funniest, most heartwarming, and most caring people that I'll ever probably get to know.
I'm remembering 2 folks who I didn't know very well, but who both died around this time 4 years ago. Amelia Brown, who was a colleague of mine, who was very close with a number of my friends and coworkers and did incredible work at the intersection of community art and racial equity, and died of an unexpected heart attack that was about being Black in America. And Ezra Ishman, who was someone I met through Jewish organizing space, and I had they had asked me about Shir Tikva, and I had convinced them to go meet with Rabbi Ariel maybe a month before they passed. And I remember a number of us finding out about their passing right before a Zoom Havdalah service and just holding that space together. And yeah, it's been a long number of years, and I'm thinking of both of them.
Jane Greenberg, who passed away, my mother, who passed away in December 2023. Just like her, I get called Jane Jr. a lot because I have one more thing I got to get out of the house before I go, and that's just why we were a little late. But I'm glad to be here and just remembering Jane.
I'll invite us to turn, please, to page 294 and rise en route for Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon uvyom echon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'yimru amen, v'yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekusha brichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'yimru amen, yehi shlam rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mrama, u'yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru amen. You may be seated.
We'll invite up Track Trachtenberg, board member and usher of the night, to give us some announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. I am one of two ushers of the night. Do not give me that credit. My name is Track. I use they and he pronouns. I'm one of the board members, and I'm so grateful to be here with all of you tonight. Thank you for being here. It's such a joy to be together. At the end of this service, please return the prayer books to the usher table. Please separate the song sheets from the prayer books. Many people are used to hearing this every week. I have it memorized, and I've never done announcements before. Also, our membership engagement committee is looking to welcome and engage folks who are new to this congregation. If you are newer to this congregation, we invite you to raise your hand so they can find you and connect to you. If you are on the membership engagement committee, we invite you to raise your hand and wave. That part's working. Excellent. So you can find and connect to them, even if you don't want to raise your hand. Thank you to all those who made tonight possible. Rabbis Ariel and Joey, the Shir Tikva Choir, Gordon, the Macomb Minion, Julie Jacobs, Lori Sweet, our ushers, our Shomrim, and security for their steady presence. And John Orenstein. Thank you. Find all of the Shir Tikva programming updates in our weekly e-news and on the website as always. A couple program updates. Next week's Shabbat service will be a mask recommended service. If this isn't the best fit for you, please join us on Zoom. This coming Wednesday, we'll gather for a Tu B'Shvat Seder, a chance to celebrate the preciousness of the natural world. We have a bunch of new adult ed classes launching in the next few weeks. Join us to study Hebrew, Jewish texts, and art-based spiritual practices. And keep your eyes peeled for info about our upcoming reproductive justice Shabbat and highest immigration justice Shabbat, the last 2 weeks of this month. And a reminder that your community is here to support you, so please reach out to our rabbis if you encounter a life change so they can activate the, quote, Shir Tikva network of support. And as we move through these times, Shir Tikva strives to be a community where we can organize and agitate and learn and work for justice and care for each other together. And if you hear of community organizing efforts or resources you'd like to bring to our community, we would love to hear about it. And if you need support with all that is in this moment, please be in touch with our rabbis and all of your community here.
If anybody's interested in baking hamantaschen, it starts this Sunday. You can sign up. There's a link in the e-news, and all those proceeds go to Caring Community to help everyone.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for the reminder. If anyone is interested in helping bake hamantaschen, starts this Sunday. There's a link in the... Sign up starts Sunday. The link is in the e-news. Proceeds going to the caring committee.
And if, as you're sitting here and you're thinking, "Oh, services are almost done. I wish there was more services." Tomorrow morning at 10:30, there will be shul. So we hope you'll join us right back here. We'll read. We'll actually get to hear the Song of the Sea read from Torah. We'll get to sing and pray, and just hope keep finding your way back, back to each other and back to this tradition. Good Shabbos. We're going to bless some grape juice and some challah. Thanks, Rabbi Joey.
You can find the words of the blessing for grape juice on page 5. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei puri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvata v'ratza ba'anu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim ki vanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta im kol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha Be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltan Brucha at Shechina mekadeshet haShabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz v'te'avon.
Shabbat Shalom. In just a moment, we'll go out into the Oneg Hall for some snacks and a chance to connect with one another. Please introduce yourself to someone you don't know yet, and just tuck some of this before we go. Before we go anywhere, we'll sing, and just tuck some of whatever you're feeling right now. If you're feeling any sense of quiet or connection, just don't move too fast past it. Bring it in and carry it with you as we move out. We'll close in song.
La 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 la.